All right, turn clients into lead gen machines. And so as we're looking at this thing, and this is just the roller coaster that we've been on over the last couple of days, right? The journey, if you will, of we know that the number one place where clients come from is going to be referrals and sphere of influence. And this is the number one way, right? 82% of all business for all real estate agents comes from the sphere of influence. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And to kick this thing off, let's talk about moving from E to P. And your E is entrepreneurial, right? That's just your natural ability. It is just you doing what feels comfortable. And all of us have this natural ability, right? To where we can go through and we can just rely on it. And what we understand though is if we move to P and we're very intentional, we're skill based, we are model driven, we can actually scale. We can move up and we can move down. And why this matters is because if we have systems and we have self mastery, we're going to be able to break ceilings. So, through this conversation, right, if we've already committed to our self mastery, we've identified our one thing, and we've learned a time block, what we're going to see is we're going to have the ability to operate with purpose now. We're going to have the ability to actually go beyond our natural instinct of just moving forward. And we're going to have our clear goals outlined and a true compass, the GPS to move forward. When we talk about purposeful agents, they don't just attract referrals, they engineer them, right? They don't rely on talent. They've actually built leverage. And they don't guess. They're just following their proven models. So your entrepreneurial side, your E, it's good, right? We all have it and we should all lean into it at times, but your purposeful, your P side is absolutely great. And this shift is what's going to make you referable on purpose, which is where we need to get. And so you can see just we have this image at the very bottom where it's when we're entrepreneurial, we hit that ceiling, that natural ceiling of achievement, right? We firstly hit it, we get disappointment. Then we might have some resignations. We might start thinking about what greener pastures look like. And the cycle just continues. And then when we get to purposeful, right? We start implementing systems models. We have our end goal in sight. That's where we break through this ceiling. And we're going to just talk about breaking through the ceiling and making sure that we're getting repeat and referral business. So, firstly, we need to start training loyalty and stop chasing leads, right? And when we think about training people how to treat us, this goes for everything our spouse, kids, pets, right? Like I know I just kind of lumped a lot of different people into one space, but you also train your clients as well, right? And it's not with scripts, it's with the value, it's structured value. And as we go through and we start thinking about this thing, the loyalty that we actually create actually happens well beyond the sale. So before the sale actually happens, this is where we're going to be able to start creating loyalty. We're going to be strategic. We're going to offer value. We're going to offer it early. We're going to offer it often. And we're going through and we're being very value driven. So let's think about before the transaction, right? And we're thinking about this. And one of the things that we could be looking into is do we have any lease buyout programs? Think about this, right? We have to go through and we have to believe and we have to know that with interest rates, a lot of people kind of backed up and they said, well, hey, it probably makes more sense for me to lease now, for me to rent now, and I'll buy later. Well, life happens, right? As we know, we're in a market, and when we start thinking about the shift book, we understand that this market's about finding the motivated. And so as we're looking to find the motivated, that motivated might be sitting in an apartment right now. They might be sitting in something that they're leasing. And with that, do we have anything that can help them get out of the lease? Or maybe we're having a conversation with somebody and they're talking about getting into a lease. And you said, well, hey, have you heard about a buyout clause? And they said, well, no, what's a lease buyout clause? And we can actually go through and we can actually help them and just help them start thinking about, well, you might not want to be in this lease for a full year. can we put a mechanism in your lease right now to where maybe you're 2, 3 months in, the perfect house does pop up, life happens, you want out of the lease to buy this house. What can we put in for a mechanism to allow you to walk away from your lease without paying for the full year and start talking about this lease buyout clause? Relocation integration programs, right? When we started thinking about the family, what can we do when we're looking in is what communities, what schools, what salons, what healthcare, like, are we experts in the area? And so when we're just talking about going through and saying, hey, I know that you're moving into the area and I know you have family that lives outside the area, here's all the stuff that will probably help them get more familiar as you're moving in. So are we going through and do we understand the benefits of Colorado? And then narrow it down: Westminster, Arvada, Lakewood, Golden, right? Like, what are some of the top things in this area? The vetted vendor network. We're going through, every homeowner needs a trusted somebody, contractor in the space through every stage of every component inside of real estate. Who are our vetted vendors, right? As we're going through, have we put together that list? And then we have, right, this downsizing systems for seniors and the support for the sandwich generation. This is interesting, right? We are going through and we have this generation that has aging parents and they're raising children. How are we going through and making sure that these people are taken care of? We are seeing more and more people take on their aging parents and their children in the same household. What does that look like? Like, what would it look like if we were to create a pamphlet, if you will, right? Your buyer guide, your seller guide, and it's actually geared towards this generation. We're going to see this big when we start thinking about the largest wealth generation transfer that we have seen in our society. This is going to be a big part of it. We're going to see people even moving in with their parents and they bring their kids and they sell their house, or they sell the parents' house and the parents move with them, or they sell both houses and they move into a different type of estate to accommodate everybody. What are we doing to be ready for this? What are we doing to spark that conversation? So the goal is to deliver value, right? It's so deep and it's so structured. And we just need to be thinking about this, right? Like, how can we niche down so tight to a specific subset of buyers and sellers? And we know what the demographics look like. So what are we doing to make sure that we're saying, like, hey, I know you exist, and here are the things that are going to help you in your life cycle that you're in right now. And your clients never want to work with just anybody else, right? They're going to tell their friends why they work with you. Like, they're going to say, hey, my real estate agent had this program that was set up to help me win, that I thought that was catered to me 100%. And that's what they're going to continue to pass on to everybody else in their ecosystem. Then we start thinking about just these high touch values, these referral reinforcements. And when we're going through, we're not pitching a client model, right? This isn't a client model. This is our professional standard. Hey, if you work with me, I have professional standards that we're going through, and it's about your client. And it's not about the perks that you offer, right? It's not that. This is the structure. This is consistency. This is the service, right? When we started thinking about, you go into any McDonald's across the nation, you know what's going to be on a Big Mac. You go into some of these hotel chains, right? You go into the Hyatt, you go into some of these places, like, you know what to expect. And this is what we need to be delivering. We're not just winging it, right? We're not just going to go through and say, all right, we're going to get through this transaction, we're going to get through the next transaction. No, like, this is the service list that I offer. This is what you and anybody that you refer me, this is what they can expect from me. Not that I'm the best real estate agent, I'm going to answer my call and I care about you. And yeah, like, that's all important. And yet, what's more important is that we're going to go through and this is how we deliver. This is how we show up daily. Yes, I'm going to answer my phone. Yes, I'm going to send you a text message. I'm going to follow up. I might not always be available, but I'm always going to be accessible to you. And then how are we going to deliver everything else in our value proposition? We have to think about this. There's going to be multiple stages in a transaction. Do we have moving supplies for these people, right? Like, do we have an availability to maybe truck access, supplies, anything that's going to reduce stress in their life? I've even seen people where like they order the pizza the day of, right? Like, hey, does your family like whatever? And on moving day, I'm sending that to you. I know today's going to be stressful already. I'm going to send this to you. Then when you get to your new place, I'm going to send you your next meal because I know that you're moving again. When we go through, do we have access to power washers, ladders, carpet cleaners, right? Do we have this stuff or do we know somebody that does that we can work a relationship with to get it at a discounted rate? Where we go through and do we have tables, chairs, coolers, decorations ready for them, right? Like for event and hosting resources. Can we go through? Are we hosting a party for them when they're moving out of the neighborhood? A bon voyage party, and do we have a welcome to the neighborhood party, a housewarming party? Do we have all of these things set up to where we can actually set this up and make sure that we're taking care of them? Everyday value, right? Do we have just curated discounts, services? Who is the people, the businesses in our world to where we can actually go through and here's my July services. Here are the 10 best discounts that I worked out for the people in my ecosystem. And here they are for you. And our vetted service partners, right? Are we going through? And again, who are our cleaners? Who are our dog walkers? This is anything and everything. And I think a lot of times we get very, very narrow focused and it probably gets overwhelming at times. But who are these other people that are in our world? You know what I can tell you? This is a service partner that maybe we haven't been super purposeful about, but I can tell you that it's a conversation at my house for our short-term rental is that we continuously talk about who's the person that takes out the trash can. Like literally, this is a service that my wife and I talk about where we know that there's companies out there that do this for a job, but yeah, like we're running into issues finding into this specific place. And like these are some of the services that people are looking for. Who do we have? And it makes your clients feel seen, supported, and empowered, right? When we're going through and you are the Google, they're not having to go out and vet these people. They're not having to go read through all the client reviews, hunt down the uh the websites. You have this all for them. I mean, how many times has there been a client that someone's been looking for that they're only on Craigslist and they feel a little iffy, like, can I trust this person? If you've already done that legwork, yeah, like this is a handyman, they're not a website developer, they're more of a word of mouth kind of person, and I trust them, like you are a rock star at that point. It's going to create more natural referral moments, right? If we're going through and it's like, hey, just wanted to send you my curated August list of discounts that I got from my clients. Is there anything specifically that you're looking for that I haven't sent you that I can maybe go do some research for you? You are a rock star. And then they're going to say, you know what? I super appreciate that. You know, I don't have anything that I've been specifically looking for, but I do want to tell you, I was actually talking to one of my buddies and they're thinking about buying. Would it be okay if I gave them your number? Absolutely, it would be, right? This is going to reinforce your brand and your brand standards, and it's resource rich, relationship driven, right? This is the thing. This is a relationship based business where I think a lot of us get caught up in, oh my goodness, if I reach out to these people, they're just going to think I'm salesy. I just want to, no, this is value. This is 100% value packed stuff. And so when we're vetting these service partners, I think we should be going through, firstly, we're going to research, right? We're going to go through, we're going to look for reviews. We're going to look for recommendations from our people that have actually used them, right? And make sure that we're going to look at their financial health. And what I mean by that is like, are they going to be around for a while? Also, are they getting too big already? Like I've also seen that to where these people, they start off really small with you And then you've actually helped them get bigger and bigger and bigger, and their service might not be there anymore because they're so big, and there's no judgment on them. And congrats to you. Like, I have people in my world where I've given out their information so much, they've gotten so big from it to where the service just feels a little bit different, and we got to go find more people. Interview and compare multiple vendors, compare their qualifications, look at their pricing, figure out what it looks like. I can tell you that when I go through and I'm saying, like, here are the inspectors, I say, here's an inexpensive inspector. They're going to go through, they're going to look at it, they're going to give you the high level stuff, they're going to walk through it with you. Also, here's another inspector that I have. They're a little bit more expensive, and they're going to give you a detailed book on every little thing that they found and photos and everything. And we're just going to, here's the benefits, here's the pros, here's the cons. What do you want to do from here? We're going to go through request references. We're going to go out there and let's gamify this. Let's make sure that we're going far and long with it. How can we put them on our social media channels? How can we do different things with it to help them build and scale all at the same time? We want to make sure that we reinforcing these behaviors, right? This is by design, not by default. And as we're looking through this thing, again, it's not about the perks, it's about the patterns, right? These aren't extras. These actually solve real needs, and they build systems and dialogues that are going to be talked about, right? Like, your people will think that you're such a rock star that they're going to want to talk about them. And so, handwritten, meaningful gifts. And here's the deal, send it to their workplace. So, what this is going to do, firstly, is it means that when we're doing our onboarding, and we should have an onboarding checklist for our clients where we're figuring out their address, obviously. We're figuring out where they work, get their work address. We're going through, we're figuring out their favorite color. We're going to figure out their favorite restaurant. We're going to figure out their favorite snack, what their comfort food is. We need to figure out all this. We should have an onboarding system. Turn this into a Google Doc and send it to them. And this is part of your onboarding system. And then when you're going through, how can we send everything to their work? They're going to feel special. People are going to be wondering, oh my goodness, where did you get that from? That's so cool. Someone's thinking about you. Oh, this is from my real estate agent. And it's going to create FOMO. Oh man, I wish my real estate agent did that. My real estate agent didn't even give me a closing gift, right? Whatever that may look like. Personalized video messages. Thank you. Assurances, right? Thank you for that referral, right? To where we're going through and we're picking up this thing right here. Sometimes it weighs 500 pounds. And yet we pick it up and we just say, hey, just wanted to say thank you again. I super appreciate having people like you that are in my corner. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, please don't ever hesitate to let me know, and fire it over to them, right? When we go under contract with the referral, we're going to send an update of gratitude. Hey, I just want to let you know that that person that you sent to me, we're under contract on the house of their dreams, or we're getting their home sold right now. And again, I super appreciate people like you in my world. Again, we're taking great care of these people. Then we got to make sure that we're tagging this in our CRM, right? If we're not making sure that we're working our CRM, right? We talked about we got to build it. We have to feed it. We have to communicate to it. And then we have to service all the leads that come our way. And one of the things that we should be doing is tagging. And the tagging, it's called segmenting. We need to segment out our database. And through the segmenting, we probably need to say referral gift needed. These are the people that need gifts, right? We need to love on these people. And then when we close, let's send another final appreciation gift. And guess what? There's companies that do this. I think a lot of times we're like, oh my goodness, I got to go to the store. And then I have to get it all wrapped. And then I got to go to the UPS store and send it off. And like, go look, there's this company called Sugar Wish, right? I just Googled companies that send off referrals. Sugar Wish popped up. And they have this 2 candy thing for 25 bucks that you send out there. It has a customizable e-card that you can send via text or email, right? And guess what happens? The person that you send it to, they get to pick their candy, which is kind of neat. And it comes in a fun gift box, right? And it goes anywhere from $25 to 24 choices for 130 bucks. So depending on the referral, we can level this up, right? We can model it, scale it up, and see, this is the deal. You can say, for this type of house, these are the dollars that I spend. For this type of house, these are the dollars that I spend, right? And we can go through, and it's just models and systems. This turns one-time gestures into repeatable systems, right? It builds a referral culture inside of your business. And guess what? When people get this kind of stuff, they put it out there, guys. Like, this is the thing. Your people get so excited for this and they share it. These are those moments that they put on social media. These are those moments that we're sending it to their workplace and everyone else is seeing it. Like, this is cool. Like, this is feel good, visible, and worth repeating, right? This is how referrals become habits. When we're going through and we're creating this system for clients that are staying put, right? Here's the deal. You have clients that may not go anywhere for a while. We can't not love on them, right? We need to make sure that we're taking care of these people. They're sitting on their 2 and 4% interest rates right now. I get it. These people are real. And unless a life moment happens that's going to motivate them to move, they're staying put. And what they're going to do, they're going to stay in their home. They're going to improve their home. They're going to reimagine their homes that they already own and some of the things. And you are intentionally going to stay in this conversation, right? We're going to make sure that we are reaching out to these people and loving on them as much as possible. And so, how do we have a concierge service for them? This isn't a follow-up. This isn't a check-in. This is a visibility engine to make you stay top of mind. It's here to deliver value, which keeps your brand top of mind and referral ready. Hey, look, I'm not trying to sell you a house. I'm not trying to make you go buy a new house. I'm not trying to have you go get an investment property. I want to make sure that the largest investment that you made in your home is everything that you still want it to be. And so, how can we go through and make sure that we're giving them updated equity building upgrades, right? Like, don't go spend money on the man cave unless that's what's going to really, really make you happy. But here are the latest things that people are looking for in their homes. And what would it look like for you to actually go out and get those vendor partners? And I'm not talking about the contractor referral now. I'm talking about what would it look like for you to go to Arizona Tile or one of these other places that are out in these areas to where you go get a wholesale license for them to go get it at a cheaper cost and say, hey, here's a couple of my preferred people that I work with, and these are the businesses. And if you just go mention my name, we'll be able to get you taken care of here, right? Your contractor referrals again, where we're going through, and here is our home support vendor team. And you can look on the right-hand side, and this is literally from one of the property managers that I use at one of my rentals. And they're saying, hey guys, it's that time of year again. It's time to have gutters cleaned. And you know what? This is going to do this. If you have your gutters cleaned, it's going to prevent roof leaks, foundation issues, mold growth, all this stuff. Here is the pricing. And if you want to take advantage of this, just let me know and I'll send you the email to the client, to the referral partner. Look at that. Like, here's the thing. You're not just sending a blind, here's all my stuff. This is a one-off. Hey, I went out and I got a rate with one of my trusted people. Maybe it's not your preferred list. Maybe this is someone else that you're trying out. And they're like, yes, if you help me build my business, I'll give all of your clients 15% off. Here's my range. And then you just send out this email to all of the people in your ecosystem, like, hey, just want to let you guys know that it's time to clean out gutters. These are the benefits of cleaning out the gutters. This is what we see. What happens if people aren't doing it? You don't want to get on the roof. And guess what? I negotiated 15% off for all of the people in my world, and I was thinking about you. Send me an email if you want this person's information, or if there's anything else that you're looking for, just let me know and I'll find it for you. This is another touch, right? This is another thing to stay top of mind, right? When we're going through an equity strategy conversations, right? Like we're just talking about just upgrades. Here are the upgrades that we should be making for leverage tomorrow. right? Maintenance prevention, right? Where we're going through and we're making sure that we just have these people. Like, do we have the stuff? Again, it could be the gutter person where we're going through and saying, like, hey, let's make sure that we're taking care of your roof and we're going through. This creates referral ready results, right? Like when we're going through and we're helping them, these are natural referral moments. So again, this is staying relevant, it's staying trusted, it's staying visible. Your clients, this is all we should be doing when we're going through, we're reaching out to them, we're building this relationship. This is what's going to help them be able to send more business our way. And one of the things that we should be thinking about, right, is recognition and results. The closing isn't the end of the deal either. It's actually your best moment to make the next lead happen. And there's two things that I think about, and these probably aren't in the best order for how I have this, but I wanted to talk about both of these. Firstly, we should be asking for a referral at the very end of the closing. But here's the deal. Before we even get here, why don't we make the promise? There's this model called the promise, and it's Googleable, and there was just really no easy way for me to pull this up. But the promise is this: it's where you're going to set the tone and you're going to say, hey, we're going to deliver such amazing service that you're going to want to refer me. And if you don't, we will ensure and assume that we've actually failed you, that we fallen short, and we want to discuss what we could have done to make this thing better. And you're like, what are you doing at this point? What you have done is you have said, like, hey, client, I'm going to knock it out of the park for you. And I'm going to knock it out of the park so hard that you're going to want to just tell all your friends about us. And you're going to ultimately have conversations with people. Like, this is an exciting process. You're going to be letting everybody know that you're in the process of moving and looking for a house to buy or selling your house. And we're going to crush this thing so hard. You're going to be telling people, and guess what? You're going to run into someone that's going to say, you know what? I've actually been thinking about moving too. And you're like, you need to speak to my real estate agent. And you're going to teach them how to do this, right? You're going to say, like, this is how, when you do get a referral, because you are going to get a referral for me, because you're going to be so excited for everything that I'm going to do that you're going to naturally have these conversations and someone's going to mention it. This is how I would like you to send them my way. And then you're going to let them know, like, listen, and if you don't have a referral for me, I'm just going to assume it's because I sucked and I could have done better. And then at the end of that, like, I do want to get better. And so if we do get to this point where there's no referral, I just want to have a discussion with you of what I could have done to improve my service. So firstly, you're just saying right now, like, hey, my game is going to be super elevated, and to where it's going to put some pressure on you to execute and to deliver. And that's why we move from E to P, right? We went from, we're going to shoot from the hip to no, we're going to follow these systems and models that we have in place to win for our client. And we're doing our check-ins and we're doing everything. And it's going to reinforce that your client, the way that they can help you. Yeah, like obviously you're going to get paid, but on top of getting paid, we want to make sure that they're doing business with the people that they know and like and trust in their ecosystems as well. So then after all this, they send us the referral. That's when we're getting the Google review. And we should be getting reviews from everybody. And pick your platform. I choose Google. You could choose Yelp. You could choose Facebook. Just pick one and start gamifying and figure out like what you want that goal to be. Is it 50? Is it 100? Right? And can we put some stuff around there, right? To for every, referral that you give me, and for every Google review that I get, and for whatever gets your name into a raffle. And at the end of the quarter, I am going to raffle off whatever. It doesn't have to be huge. And then we can love on them even more to where we're going through and we have some kind of event or party, right? We got stuff that's happening. Ask for the review while it's still fresh in their head, right? So this is, if you know of anyone that's looking to buy or sell, I'd love to help them too, right? That's how we're going to close this as well. Like, we're constantly looking for more people to help, right? It's not about the deal. It's about the trust they placed in you, right? You help them. your appreciation is going to build. And what's going to happen is when we have this repetition, it's going to turn into this referral machine, right? Like when you're going through and you are just delivering and delivering and delivering. Yes, the ultimate goal is to get them into a house or to sell their house, but we want to let them know that we're thinking about them and we're with them through every step of the transaction. Yeah, we're going to communicate. We're also going to celebrate, right? We're going to make sure that they understand that we truly care about them. And so when we think about this, loyalty alone isn't enough, right? You have the person in your world that you know that if they are going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, they're going to reach out to you. We have those people. And while we think about great service, that does create loyalty. They're never going to go anywhere else. But guess what? Great agents create this trust that's actually going to convert, and it converts into more business. And the ROI, the return on investment from referral business is astronomical. There's too many agents that are going out and spending money on leads. There's too many agents that are going and they're getting burned out on doing open houses and doing stuff that they just don't naturally mesh with. And so what we do know is there's people that like us, there's people that trust us. How can we pour into them at such high a level that they want to reciprocate back and give us more business? Loyalty can't save you if we're not being sharp on this. And so that's why we also need to make sure, and that's why we do, right? We do look at the market velocity. We make sure that we're checking on inventory levels. We're looking at the pricing trends. We're going through, we know days on market by your price points, by your neighborhoods. We know how many active depending, what that ratio is. We know what the things that are happening with this buyer urgency and seller leverage. Like we're staying so educated. We have left this speed-based market and we are in a skills-based market. And when we're going through and we're staying up to date, we know what's happening in the real estate world. We're delivering a client experience to every client because it is a model now. Your clients are going to stay with the pro, which is you, because you deliver more service. And we have strategy. We're going through and we lead with data, not opinions. We're equipped for every market, right? So when value meets your visibility and you stay sharp on your execution, which meets your systems, you don't just find referrals, you're going to create them with every intentional, purpose-driven touch that you put out there.